Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with my co-host,
Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow Moo.
And we have a very wonderful special guest. Please introduce yourself.
G Larry Butler, just happy to be here.
Yay.
Yay. We invited Larry out. We got some stuff that we're doing, not just the podcast, but other stuff too. And we decided that while we have him, we might as well put him to use for some Indie Film Cafe stinkage.
And for the kids at home, just so you remember, this is the gentleman who was with some of the movies we've done, including The Janitor and Double D Avenger and other films.
He was our first LA guest. That we had. We went over to his house and did Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, I believe. So we do not have Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers today.
And formerly Little Stinkers.
Little
host.
Stinkers, that's...
Yeah, the good old days.
And he's also my co-host for Hooked on Hitchcock, which is at its last season this year, so we're really
finally
excited.
running out of Hitchcock movies, huh?
Yeah.
We've done almost all of them.
Getting into the really bad, boring early ones.
Yeah, we kind of didn't put those in enough, before, so now we're kind of...
slog through the last ones.
Yeah, it's gonna... Yeah, we got Family Plot coming out, and then after that it's going to be a bunch of...
That's the one, I think it's Bruce Dern's in that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
It was good.
That was all right.
We watched it last night. We loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's not what we're going to watch today. Nothing, but it does have this one does have a big-time actress that's involved in the movie, and it's a trauma release.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Lloyd Kaufman.
Yay.
I've told Paul about this before, but you had said I don't think you'd ever even heard of it. And it's called Pterodactyl Woman from Beverly Hills.
Wow.
And you never heard of it, right?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh, you heard
never
of it.
Seen
You've
it.
never seen it.
Beverly
You never
D'Angelo.
even heard of this
No,
one.
I never.
So it's Beverly D'Angelo as the star, and she's the lead actress. It's not like a cameo where they say... Beverly D'Angelo, and she's only in it for like 2 minutes or something. She's the star of the movie. She's the Pterodactyl Woman, of Beverly Hills.
Of course she is.
And, if anyone's going to be, might as well be Beverly D'Angelo, right? But it's also got Moon Zappa and Carmine Zozora, and I thought somebody else big. Brian James is in this movie.
Okay, Brian James. Yeah.
And
Brian James.
So this is before he died, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. This is 80s, I think. This is 80s or early 90s movie.
So is this kind of before she kind of had her rebirth?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This is before Entourage and all the other stuff that she's been in. And kind of... What's MM3? Is that 2003? No, that must be the re-release date.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely an 80s or 90s movie. I'm just not sure what. I'll have to look it up by the time we do the podcast.
Yeah, that's Brian James before he was even in The Player.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll find out after we listen to some mood music. Now, all right, we are back.
With our tea.
And coffee. I got coffee.
Oui,
Everybody
oui.
else got tea.
All right.
We had to stay awake and stuff. Not saying the movie was boring.
It got kind of boring.
It got a little bit boring.
Yeah,
So-
I think-
Little talky, a little it dragged a little bit. It was
Dragged a
only
little
45 minutes too long.
on an hour and 30 seconds.
Would have made a great short.
It
Probably.
would have.
Yeah.
I love the
Probably would.
premise, but I mean, it just seemed to drag forever.
Yeah.
The talking
Yeah.
heads. Not enough drama.
For whatever reason, your disc, it divided into two chunks. It was like a 50-minute chunk and a 45-minute
No,
chunk.
40, like it was 48 and 50.
50 or, yeah. For whatever reason, that first chunk was great, and it's the second chunk that was just kind of... It just
kind of
dragged.
felt like it dragged a little bit. It was toward the end it dragged. Even the beginning, like the first 48 minutes, kind of dragged at times too, because I mean, even Larry was having problems with just like listening to it and stuff, and just whatever. But then it would have sparse moments where it would pick things up and stuff, and it'd be less talking, more like, because I remember you saying you wanted more like adventure or something, like more action.
Yeah, that had moments,
But
really appreciated some of those.
Things happening would be useful.
And it wasn't a horror film like you were probably expecting it to be,
Hoping.
especially with trauma. You expect that a pterodactyl woman from Beverly Hills would kill people or something.
That would have been fun.
But
Well, even more than that, I wanted the preposterousness of a trauma film. The bizarreness. And
It had a little bizarreness.
A little bit.
bit.
And the actress was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Beverly D'Angelo.
Kudos to her.
I can't say anything bad about any of the acting other than maybe a couple of moments here and there. They were a little wooden, but for the most part, they were all good. Beverly D'Angelo threw herself into this role. She was so good.
And you were pointing out, like, some of the acting was meant to be, like, they knew what they were doing, sort of thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
The thing is that, it comes off very cartoony, and that's part of its charm, but it's also part of its problem because it's just not grounded enough in reality, and so
A pterodactyl woman is not grounded in reality.
Yeah, believe it or not, but not enough so that it makes you care about it. You know what I mean?
I think the only person who gave that illusion of a foundation of reality was the husband. He was a straight man.
Yeah.
But, the wife bounced off of him all the time. And I think that kind of centered it a little bit. And maybe I expected even more bizarreness, and I didn't get it. Mm-hmm. So I got a little sleepy there.
So I'm going to get into some of the cast and crew real quick and just a little background. So the film was written and directed by Felipe Mora. I looked. I'm guessing that's a guy.
Felipe Mora.
Felipe.
Yeah.
It's Felipe.
Unless
Mora.
he transitioned, in which case he's not anymore.
Now it's Filipino.
But
that was cheesy. All right.
what do you expect from a cow?
You do produce cheese.
Among other things.
Very
productive.
Sorry, I'm not getting, I thought I was going to be getting some...
Tell us more about the son. Because he went on to say he did Star Trek or something.
Oh, yeah. That was Aaron Eisberg?
Aaron Eisberg, yeah. He had done Star Trek and a bunch of other stuff like that.
Yeah, he played Nog in Deep Space Nine.
And a bunch of stuff. It looked like he was in the Star Trek movie and, a bunch of other... Well, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
Yeah, and he did tragically pass away. It's a shame.
Yeah, 2019.
Very young, imaginable.
Yeah, and the thing is, the enthusiasm that he brought to Nog made Nog such a great character. He's a favorite for those who watch the series. But in this case, I don't know. I just found his character to be so irritating. I don't know about you guys. Possibly because of everything he was written for him to say was that, oh, I get it. It's blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He was just
He was a chronic
exposition
complainer.
dump.
convenient
Whiner.
exposition dump who whined.
Yeah, so
And that's kind of all it was.
Yeah.
So that's
Guess
really
they
what killed
Felt
it.
they needed that, but I just was so impressed with the wife. I couldn't take my eyes off of how she imitated that perfect mimicry of a pterodactyl, or very bird-like. The neck movements, the head snap.
She was great.
The wings, the crouch.
So you had a heart failure at age 50?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Was it drugs or?
I don't think so. I think it was some kind of genetic thing, as I recall.
Defect.
Yeah. But it was a shame.
Yeah.
But I could have really done without the kids. If it had been more just the two of them, and then she goes off and starts killing people like a monster should be doing, and that's the problem, I think that would have been a lot more fun. It's just, the problem was just, I'm a pterodactyl, now what do we do? And they're like, well, we guess we got to find out why?
Yeah, there was no subplot or anything. It was just a basic thing, and it was focused on the two of them. They were the centerpiece, and everybody was an add-on. There was superlative action from some of the other actors.
Moody and Zappa, I'm looking at you. You were really good.
Felipe Mora has directed movies like The Beast Within.
Oh, yeah.
The Return of Captain Invincible.
That I've never seen.
That sounds good. Sounds fun. A Breed Apart. Also, Howling 2, and they did say
God.
Howling 3.
Howling. Yeah.
Oh
The Howling
God,
2 or 3 movies.
Howling 2 and 3 are not good.
Oh,
Later, after Pterodactyl Woman, he had done a bunch of other random stuff like Back in Business. Who was that starring? Starring Brian Bosworth.
Yep.
You know, marker quality right there.
There you go.
Let's see, Mercenary 2, Thick and Thin.
We have to dig that Brian Bosworth movie up.
Maybe. 3 Days in Auschwitz. So
Oh, that sounds like fun.
yeah, I know. Oh, God.
It's a documentary, I guess.
Oh God, thank goodness it's not a
It's
not
a
a
documentary
comedy.
on history. It's the
Too soon.
director's mother, Mirka Mora, avoided Auschwitz. So it's a story about his mom.
Wow, thank goodness for him and her.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's a story worth telling.
Right, and I think that's wonderful when somebody does that. But he also did a 2-hour-long movie called "I Was a Communist Werewolf."
Communist
We
werewolf.
may have to dig that one up too.
Wow, yeah, that's a must-see. That's the worst kind of werewolf.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any cast members. I don't. it is a
Preying on the
horror-
proletariat. Come on, man.
Anyway, so Felipe
Yeah.
Mora, I think he's still alive. And yeah, it was 1949.
Oh
He was
yeah.
born,
He's
so he's
born.
still alive. But
Well, let's hope so. That's when I was born.
Dig him up, Moody. Use your Moody magic and get him on the show.
oh, take him up.
Moody
Sounds like
magic.
he's. All right. I'm trying to. The internet connection here is
We have
whack.
to, yeah, we have to get something like that, and I found a solution for that. We need to talk about, but we'll
Okay.
talk about that off show.
All right. So then, let's see. I'm trying to get into the people we know, like offhand from their names. Like we know Brian James, you know, who's in this movie, and he played He played 2 parts. He played
I still think it's 3.
Salvador Dali, the
excellent.
fun little Native American
The
character
fake Native American
that
shaman.
Ramaku would have hated.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We have a friend who is actually Native American, and she would have been angry at this.
And I totally do not blame her.
And I don't blame
because
her.
that character doesn't need to be Native American. It's just
I mean, I get what he's saying, like you're on my land, you know, and all that stuff and all whatever. But they needed a real Native American person to play that. They not they could have found anybody else. And then he
for
also
that matter, you could have gotten a real pterodactyl woman to play the lead.
yeah, and then they could have got and then he also played Sam, who's the guru guy who got turned by Salvador Dali as well as a pterodactyl.
Now I liked that character was fun.
Yeah, so if they just left him as that character
Blue Martini.
and maybe gave one of the real Native Americans from what is it? What's that movie?
Like Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
or
Dances
something.
with Wolves or something like that.
yeah.
Like give real
West Study, someone like that.
somebody who actually is a real Native American.
Probably couldn't afford any of those
Or West
guys.
Duty either.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Well, Brian James was also in Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah.
Classic
The
character.
player.
The Player, The Fifth Element, Striking
he's
Distance,
in a ton of
Another 48 Hours. I mean, he's been in.
This is not a kind of character you generally see Brian James play, though. That's the thing.
and I think that's why he did it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
And
sure.
didn't you say that this was like the last thing he was in?
That's what it said. It was the last project. he was in.
That's a shame.
He's still alive.
No, he passed.
No, he passed away in
unfortunately.
1999, which is a bummer.
I always liked Brian James.
Yeah, Barry Humphries, who you recognize. That was Burt Humphries, I think is what he goes by. He was in The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey,
Oh,
Finding Nemo, Nicholas Nickleby.
Who was he in The Hobbit?
He was in Shock Treatment, which is not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking Shock Corridor.
Oh, you're thinking Shock? Yeah, no.
But no, he was in Shock Treatment, which is an older movie.
Yeah, Sam Fuller's Chalk Corridor is older.
Yeah, this is a 1981 movie starring directed by Jim Sharman, but and starring Jessica Harper. So it's some pretty decent movies apparently. But that's the one you said you saw at the grocery store that was like what is it? He you said he's a man that looks like a woman, kind of thing, dressed up in drag, I guess.
Yes, they used to call him Dame. That was his character name. He started out in theater and then he jumped to movies. Dame, I forgot the last part of it. But he was a man that dressed like a woman and act like a woman and talk like a woman. And so they threw him a little bit part. And so immediately, noticed him because I've seen him in other things.
Yeah,
but
Dame Edna.
Dame Edna, yes.
Dame Edna. So that was to him.
Yeah.
And so he had multiple roles in it. He was the lady shopper. Mm-hmm. He was Bert, and he was the manager.
Oh, okay.
So he had a couple characters in there.
Right.
You get the feeling this was not a huge budget here that they were dealing with.
Of course, yeah. But it's fun to play different characters. A lot of actors will sign up for that.
And honestly, I thought the makeup for the pterodactyl stuff was actually pretty good.
Yeah. So Dick Chandler, which is the husband, is
Dick.
They kept trying to make jokes like call him a cock or something, and then blah blah blah. And that joke just went on way too many.
Yeah. Way too many of them.
Yeah, I thought, there was a couple, jokes that they kept trying to make funny. And the first time, I didn't even laugh, so, I'm not going to laugh the next...
Right. If it falls dead the first time, the next 8 times is not going to make it any better. It's going to make it worse.
And I think they thought that people laugh so much that they'll keep laughing. Oh, they brought that up.
It's
again.
the shotgun.
What is it? The rule of 3? If you do it 3 times...
It's the shotgun. Throw it at the wall, see what sticks.
A couple of times, okay.
Shotgun effect.
Well, this guy has had a weird career. Other than this movie, he was also in Meet Dave, which is one of Eddie Murphy's worst movies. He was in Kazam, Shaquille O'Neal's worst movie. And Good Burger, which I like Good Burger. I grew up at that time where all that was big, so that didn't, and he only had a bit part in that as scared customer. So, but he was in T.J. Hooker. He was in Boston Legal, Boston Public, a bunch of different things. So he's had a career. Now I was trying to find the daughter and see if Sharon Martin played the daughter.
I don't recognize her at all.
And she played Jenny Chandler, and she was in. There's a TV show called Sisters. Right. I guess from the 90s.
Yep.
And she was in that. She was in Law and Order as in an episode of that. She was in Quantum Leap.
So she's been in episodic TV.
Yeah, but she's been guest stars or small parts or whatever. And that
work-a-day actor in Hollywood. That's what you do.
She stopped in Sisters. So she stopped acting in 1996. I guess I think it was 96, because she did 79 episodes. So she played Teenage Alex all the way up to May 4th, 1996, and then she stopped working. So I don't know if she just got a husband and just settled
kids
down.
Or something, maybe.
Had kids, settled down, became a family member,
or just whatnot. Had enough of it.
A lot of actors do that.
After a while, especially women. Women, they just... acting can't do acting anymore because they're raising a family, and so. But maybe she's not. Maybe she just
there's sexism.
Stuff dried up. I mean, stuff dried up for Beverly D'Angelo. That's why she was in this movie to begin with, and then she came back.
Well, with that being said, we'll we'll bring her back for one of our projects, and she'll get her career going back.
That'd be great.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah, she was nice, and she looked cute, and she was very sweet, it seemed, and she, did a great job in it. It's just
have to do a pterodactyl joke in one of her characters.
Thinking of doing a sequel.
That'd be great.
I would love it.
I don't think she'd be interested in that, but anyway, something else.
Yeah. So let's see. Who else is? I don't know. See, I don't know any of these people's names. I don't remember their names. That's the sad thing. It's we forgot Moon Zappa.
Oh yeah,
she was wonderful.
She was really good, as always.
She was fantastic, and she was she played Susie, who had a talk show.
Yeah.
And she had
Talk
she
show
was a
Susie.
friend. Talk show Susie.
I always had a crush on Moon Unit Zappa. She was always a cutie pie.
Yeah, she was Frank Zappa's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what she's up to now.
Don't know. Her and Dweezil were like, the 90s were like the thing for them.
Is that like hippie names or something?
Yeah.
They were born in 67 or so,
yep,
imagine those are hippie names. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank God I didn't get a hippie name.
I
You got a biblical
were your parents
name.
No, I got a Beatles name.
For real? You're named after
unfortunately.
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Cool name.
Yeah, Paul McCartney is what he was named after.
Yeah.
I can't stand the Beatles.
Yeah, that's ironic because you should be like proud of your name.
I should be called Dave after Dave Davies or Ray after them from the Kinks. Then I'd be happy.
But I don't think your parents like the Kinks.
No.
But anyway, so Moon Zappa is also in National Lampoon's European Vacation, which could be, I don't know if that's a tie-in because Beverly D'Angelo
yep.
those things, so maybe she got Moon to come over. But she's been in a few other projects, but
she got Chevy chased out of that one.
and Chevy chased. Yes. And she's been in a bunch of stuff. So she stopped working in 2018, so I'm sure she'll be back at some point. A lot of people just like taking breaks, especially during the COVID times. People took a lot of breaks.
And then, frankly, for women, roles dry up after a certain age. Unfortunately,
sadly, yeah. And then that seems to be
because a lot of them are hired simply because of their looks rather than their talent.
That's right.
So
a real actress that really can act well will last. They have longevity. Like, who am I thinking of?
Meryl Streep.
Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah, some of the older actors like Betty Davis and things like that. They're not coming to mind, but they'll last a lifetime.
Sharon Stone's still working. I mean,
they're so talented that they're hired for their talent, not their look.
Demi Moore. Still going?
Yeah. Well, she's 60. That's right. But she had to make it. She made a comeback.
God, it's hard to believe Demi Moore is older than me, but she is.
Hold on a second.
I remember her in Blame It on Rio. I don't know if you remember that movie.
I'm not sure if I saw that.
Joe Mantegna, I believe, was in that one.
I'm trying to look it up. So there was apparently she was on a short. She was on the Chevy Chase show. Which was a talk show, and she was during an interview.
This is
on the short-lived talk show Chevy Chase's episode for episode number episode 2 basically. It was revealed that by Beverly D'Angelo that she was shooting this movie at the same time as Lightning Jack. Having combined the two schedules and using the time she had free on one movie to work on the other.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, Lightning Jack came out in 94, so I wonder if that's how long it took, like 2 years, 3 years for this to get finished and, out to the public. Felipe Mora is a huge admirer of the artist Salvador Dali and Pablo Picasso, which there was a character named that too. And so he named the two characters Dali, played by Brian James, and Picasso, played by Ron Sobel, in the film as an homage to the two famous and influential artists. So that was kind of... They mentioned that stuff in there too. The character Sam, portrayed by Brian James, is a reference to the character John Morgan played by Richard Harris in A Man Called Horse in 1970.
Wow. Yeah.
From the hair, the Irish accent, being part of the Native American culture, and even going so far as to say he's related to Morgan by claiming his mother was a Navajo and his father was an aristocrat.
Yeah, they did a few Man Called Horse movies.
Yeah, his accent's pretty good.
The stop-motion dinosaur sequences are from Planet of the Dinosaurs.
I was about to say, they seemed like they were from a completely other movie.
Well, it was funny because at one point, Brian James, as Salvador Dali, is in that other world and saying, hey, stock footage, go away.
Damn stock footage.
Yeah, right. Francesca Hilton mentioned that she was doing the movie on Howard Stern's radio show in 1995. So maybe it just took a while to get everything finished and shot and whatever. So anyway, so Paul, what did you think of the movie? I'm gonna get everybody's.
Yeah, it started off fun. I kind of liked it. It just kind of like lost its way about halfway through. Like I said, I wish it had kind of gone narratively in a different direction. I wish it had been a little bit more about Beverly D'Angelo's character and even the husband's character. The kids kind of annoyed me, and then the subplot with the government people kind of annoyed. They didn't really seem necessary. And by the time we got to the second half, when it was only about running around trying to figure out why she's a pterodactyl person or how they can change it back, I don't know, I kind of lost interest, and I even started to fall asleep a little bit. I just wish that they had done something more with the character, even if could have been a crime fighter, could have been, they could have done different things with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been better had they just sort of, like if they had made it a horror film,
Even a funny one.
Yeah, I think it would have been more entertaining, but unfortunately it was more, and that would have been more of what Trauma is, than, I'm surprised they picked this up. I guess Beverly's name would be the only reason that they would want to pick it up, really. But aside from that...
Oh, so they distributed it, but they didn't really produce it.
They didn't produce it.
This is one of the ones they picked up later.
That explains.
So,
probably nobody else wanted to.
There's a thing that I heard recently, which was there are 3 ways that Trauma works. Trauma works, and usually, and the 2 best ways are Trauma picks up a movie that for distribution that they didn't touch in any way whatsoever, like this one, or they they produce one that Lloyd Kaufman directs, and those usually
and Michael Hertz produces,
or usually. Whatever,
Okay.
Or the third one is if they ever get their mitts on one and produce something else, somebody else's movie, usually goes bad because Trauma can't mix with somebody else. Mm-hmm. So there was Chris Seaver had done a movie with that Trauma produced. It was a Teen Ape versus the Monster Nazi Apocalypse or whatever, and it was terrible. And it came bad because Trauma took over on it and started editing it and messing around with it. It was not good. It's not good. So they're better off if they do it. But like even that,
I didn't really feel it was a bad film. It just didn't feel like a Chris Seaver film. It got changed.
So what were your thoughts on this film?
Well, I was disappointed because I thought it was Trauma all the way. So, I know I've worked with Lloyd Kaufman a couple times, the movie The Janitor, for one, and Frankenstein versus the Creature from
Which
Blood
one?
Cove. Frankenstein versus the Creature from Blood Cove. He was in the bar.
Oh, nice.
And
but did you have a scene with him?
in a way, but it was where I came in, and they were throwing money at the girls, and then he had money on his desk, and when Frankenstein came in the door, everybody ran away. Ron Jeremy.
That's right. Ron Jeremy was in that.
And Lloyd picks up his money and runs. He runs out, and then he comes back and gets his money and runs out again. Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny. But so I was a little disappointed that it didn't go the way I thought it would. And I thought the movie, like you said, Paul, stretched a little too long. The storyline, I was hoping for a plot twist or something.
Something interesting.
I was like, my head was hitting my knees, I was falling asleep. So yeah, I was not thrilled about it. But basically, I enjoyed the acting, especially Beverly D'Angelo.
She was great.
And so some of the storyline was fine, but I think it dragged maybe 45 minutes too long. But other than that,
I just wonder if she's willing to talk about this movie.
I wonder why she agreed to be in it if she was doing another movie. Like, it wasn't like she had actually had no.
The only thing I can think of is that someone said to her, "Would you like to be a pterodactyl woman?" And she said, "As an actress, how could you pass that up?" Sure.
Could you imagine Meryl Streep in that?
God, I would pay to see that.
Oh my God!
I would pay to see
something.
That.
Well, I don't know if she could have improved on what Beverly did.
It's funny because
she did her own stunts, for God's sakes.
Oh, Beverly, yeah, she did like some crazy stuff. The funny thing is, if you had Meryl Streep, You could probably get her to do that in an improv thing. Like if you said, here, let's do some improv. It's like, be a pterodactyl woman. She would love it, and she would fly around. She'd do exactly what Beverly D'Angelo does with flap her arms and squawk and, right, and look, crazy. I would love that. We gotta just work with her and say, let's do some improv and, see what she says. But
she was fearless. She was shameless. Her legs are spread. The gynecologist's office.
I wish I had, like all of Warren Buffett's money, I would just go to all the great Hollywood actresses and say, let's do a 20-minute short where you're a pterodactyl woman and give me your interpretation.
No, that's waste of money.
Not to me.
No, that's to me, because we could use that, for real big projects and stuff.
It's all right. We can do both.
No. But anyway, I personally thought it was okay. It wasn't terrible and stinky like some of the worst things we've seen, but it was also not very good either. Like, this was not...
kind of meh.
No, it wasn't even meh. Like, it was a little above meh to me. In my mind. It was a little above meh, because I think, like, the problem with it was that some of the acting was great, and then some of the acting was wooden, and when you mixed it all together, sometimes some of the characters kind of almost didn't even seem pointless. Like I'm thinking like that guy that randomly came in, and I guess they wanted the pterodactyl egg or whatever, so they kind of, and that went on and on.
Some of the scenes dragged.
Yeah, and so I wish it was better.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, comedy needs to be quick.
Yeah,
you need to get your jokes and get things moving.
They could have trimmed out a lot.
It missed. It lacked energy for it to be a true comedy. You know what I mean? It had the wackiness in some parts, but it just wasn't quick enough in a lot of parts.
The pacing needs to be quicker.
Like
they just ran out of storyline, and they milked it for like 20 minutes.
Paul usually likes his milk, but not like that.
I don't know if you can milk a pterodactyl. We could try.
We did see Beverly's udders a little bit. And I don't know if that was really hers or if that was a shower scene where we just saw the reflection, but we saw some big ass titties. So we're not sure they were hers or somebody else's.
The way that she threw herself in this film, it would not surprise me.
You think she would have been okay
all
with
the
that?
way.
I think
as
so.
long as we didn't actually see her.
I don't know if she would have cared, honestly.
I had been that guy, I would have made sure to get that.
There was a reason why our husband was fairly, at attention throughout the whole film.
That's right. He had a boner. It was either that or his pants were like too big or something. Because
it's like the old Seinfeld joke. It's the crease. It's the crease.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, no.
Oh no, it wasn't Seinfeld. It was the other one, the Larry David one.
Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah,
it's a crease.
Oh my God,
it was funny.
But it was interesting. I don't know. Like, I wanted to like it a lot more, and I don't remember how I found it. Maybe I was like looking up on IMDb, like different things, and I just stumbled upon it, and I'm like, what is this movie?
Well, to me, Beverly D'Angelo kind of saved it from being a bad experience. Because when it first started, I thought, oh my goodness, she's going to be so embarrassed by this picture, she's never going to want to talk about it.
You said that a lot throughout the whole thing.
But as it moved on, I came to really respect the way she did her performance, and I'm like, hell yeah, she should talk about this film. She was really good.
She kind of had like the things where she would go, rah, rah, and like she would get
she sold
it.
me. She totally sold me on her character.
And there's like parts where she had like makeup on her face, but you could tell it was definitely still Beverly.
It's hard to sell an absurd character like that, but she did a good job.
Yeah, she was wonderful.
She was all in.
She was all in, and that's how you have to do it.
You do.
That's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
And in this case, it helped. It helped a whole lot.
You have to be in the moment to sell it, because otherwise people pull back. Like,
Yeah.
And they can see the strings, and the puppeteer.
So have you ever had to do like a truly absurd kind
Yeah,
of character?
yeah.
What's that like?
Well,
Not Al Purplewood.
No.
Well, I mean that's one, but everything I ever do, I'm completely in. I never do half-heartedly. It's always 110% every time.
That's good.
And I warn my fellow actors that I'm coming for you, and I'm using real emotion. Oh well, and then until I do it, and then they're all like shocked as hell, and then they wake up and they go, we got to up our game, so it improves the scene. You need somebody who's method. Or I use modified method because I don't want to scare people because they think, oh, you go home and scare your family like that, like Val Kilmer. No,
You
no.
don't
In between
tell
takes, I drop it. But
Yeah,
as
you
soon
don't
as
tell
it's,
people to call you by that name or whatever, right?
what's that?
Like whatever character name you have, that you don't
Yeah.
ask people to call you that name throughout the whole thing. You're not
No,
G
and I
Larry
don't
Butler.
stay in
You're Sting now.
God, I love to
No,
think
I-
of Beverly D'Angelo was method and like was living like a pterodactyl woman throughout the production.
I don't.
And she was like nesting in the other film that she was shooting at the same time.
Yeah,
I can't get out of my
right.
character.
Yeah, so
Eating live fish.
she wasn't attacking.
Oh God, that scene was one of my favorite scenes
Yeah.
in the movie.
Oh, remember one of the neighbors said, and oh my koi or poi or whatever they call those fish in ponds.
Oh, the koi, yeah.
They're all gone. They're missing. Like, oh well, okay.
Yeah, now we know why.
Yeah, now we know why.
But yeah, she goes to the fish market and she just just tries to grab
That's
the
her
fish.
grabbing a real fish.
I know. I mean, you were saying she did all her own stuff. She did. She touched random
I
fish.
mean,
and
fish have barbs on them, some of them. You have to be really careful.
Yeah.
She
She's
didn't
using
care.
her hands.
Yes.
I thought you were going to just dive in there head first.
I thought so
That
too.
was-
Yeah, she committed to that
She
role.
really is.
Yeah.
So
So-
full accolades.
And that was a live fish. And then when she was eating the fish, you could tell it was not a real fish
No.
or whatever.
Well, you don't want to give her a real fish. That's God.
Or like a real, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how they inserted that thing in her mouth and then she swallowed it. Was that like a candy type of thing?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
because later she still had
shaped like
like
a fish.
the tail of it in her thing, and like the guy had to get the tail out of her
Scales.
Maybe
mouth.
she never
Scales.
did swallow it. It's just part of it.
It was
But-
interesting. I mean that's the fun thing about the movie is that it was interesting. Like there was a lot going on. I don't know. There's just it just had too many lulls. in
And
it.
I think part of the problem too, because remember they say that she kind of goes in and out, in and out. I think that's probably to save money. It probably cost a lot of money to make her up as the pterodactyl woman and having her run around. You know what I mean? So it probably
Yeah.
saved money. They say, oh, we'll just say that she only does it part time.
True.
Well, at least they gave like an explanation like that. Some people don't even put that in there.
That's true.
And then you just like, why is she only doing it every once in a while? Or
But I think
whatever?
that's probably the reason why you don't see her actually running around, actually doing things
Well, it
as
was
a
shot out of
pterodactyl woman.
sequence, right? Like you mentioned earlier.
Because in the end, does it really matter that she's a pterodactyl woman? It's like, so what?
Well, at the end,
Society hasn't changed. If she's killing people or solving crime, you know what I mean, then
Yeah,
she's
I was
having an
hoping
impact.
that would happen.
Right,
That
but
would be the
nothing
the
really
next-
happens. It's
next,
just it just
step
happens.
up.
So there's no
Well-
stakes.
and there was no stakes because at the end of the movie, what happens?
You're done.
No,
Reverse the spell.
no.
It was all a dream.
It was all a
Oh,
dream.
yeah.
Favorite.
No, yeah, my.
You had a lot of dreams.
I hate that.
I
Because
called
they did
it.
it like 3 or 4 times too.
That's a cheap
Where
way
he
to
woke
get
up.
out of it. You know,
and it's a way to get out of it.
I
and,
called it. Give me some dap here.
You know, well, I mean, I don't want to because I didn't like it. I was not happy with
that
it.
was
Rudy's
unfortunate,
favorite.
yeah.
I mean, look,
He even had to rewind it. He was like, wait a minute, what?
They didn't need to do that.
No, they
Could have
didn't.
there
ended
was.
it.
That would have been great if
Set up a wacky universe and commit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. And then they kind of wink at the audience because they're kind of telling him at the end, or was it? I'm seeing some deja vu here. Meaning that he's probably going to go home and his wife's going to be a pterodactyl, a woman, and it's all going to like be real.
Sexy
but,
pterodactyl time.
you know, and then I mean, like he's seeing the future in some way or something like that, which is which could have been cool if they kind of explained that. Like, I saw the future.
There was a string of these kind of movies in the 80s and 90s. There was the fish that saved Pittsburgh. There was Lobster Men from Mars.
That's true, yeah.
There was a bunch of these kind of wackadoodle,
trendy,
weird little movies that sort of wanted to go there and become a big deal, but they all just kind of, didn't go enough.
Attack of the Giant Tomatoes.
You know who that appeals to?
Attack of the Killer
Stoner
Tomatoes.
movies. People get. I do a lot of work with Balsamo, and
James Balsamo,
and then he does it. He told me, this is for stoner.
There you go.
We've never
He said, I could
reviewed.
make a movie about a shoe and people would buy it.
Yeah.
Like,
we should do a James Balsamo movie.
We haven't reviewed James yet.
There's a few folks.
I've reviewed him for like Horror Society, not horrornews.net. I reviewed him for that years ago, but he would just send me like the screener online, and I would watch it, and then, but I just haven't really reviewed him in a while. I was in a couple. I've been in a couple. One, I think I was cut. That was what is that? Alien something or whatever.
Alien Danger?
Alien Danger. I was in the first one, but I think I was cut. But I was only like in the background, at an alien bazaar. It was kind of cool. It was fun. But aside from that, it was I watched the movie and I was like, oh man, I think I was cut from this movie. But I had a feeling I was gonna be, because I was kind of walking by, and there seemed to be like he does improv on his stuff, so it's just he I don't think he even knows exactly what's going to be in it until he gets into the editing and starts.
But I tell you what, he commits to a wacky situation and goes for it. He doesn't. He doesn't wink at the audience. He doesn't say it was all a dream. He doesn't. There's no cop outs. And that's just it. And I think that's why there is a certain niche of people who really like his films.
We gotta get Beverly Angelo in a James Balsamo movie.
We gotta get her on our show, man. Come on, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's easy.
Do you have her agent's number or anything? You can find
even
it.
Agent. If I went through an agent, they're gonna say no.
Manager might.
Yeah, they're
into marketing.
Publicist might if she really.
Facebook. That's how you got to do it.
Do her fan page.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I interviewed Christine Lakin, who was in Step by Step, and she was like one of my biggest crushes. And I was going to interview her, so I sent her a message on Facebook. It's a real Facebook, and I sent her a message. And she said originally contact my agent and stuff. So years later, I contacted her again and said, hey, do you want to come back on my show? Because I contacted the agent never got back to me. And I said, I contacted your agent before, but I never heard back. And she wrote back to me going, yeah, you need to go through me now, because I fired that agent, and because they weren't giving me anything and whatnot. So yeah, let's talk through here.
I think a lot of agents look at it like, if I'm not generating money that I can get a piece of it, then I'm not going to bother.
Well, I mean, because agents aren't publicists. Publicists are okay with the free stuff because it helps generate this stuff, and then if they can get them on the bigger talk shows that actually do pay money, or whatever. Like, I'm sure The View.
Well, that's how you have to look at it. You have to, start small and then move your way up.
Sure.
Harlan Ellison, is a tough cookie. And one of the things he said was, he asked, how much is going to be paid to keep doing interviews? Somebody wanted an interview. He goes, oh, you'd be doing it for free, for publicity for your stuff. He goes, let me ask you a question. Are you getting paid? And they said, yeah. Is this person getting paid? Your camera guy? Yeah. Your editor getting paid? Then why am I not getting paid?
Right.
And they said, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. And I was like, he's kind of right. If everybody, now us, we don't get paid.
I'm about to say, how would that work?
We don't get paid for us.
All his answers were like, no.
If we said that, he might go, okay, well, if you're not getting paid, I'll do it for free. But or maybe not.
Not only that, hell, we lose money.
Yeah, we pay for Patreon. Nobody else does.
No.
It's a tough business, to monetize yourself, and so anyway,
it's not an easy business. But,
Nope.
But anyway, all in all, I do like the movie enough where Would I watch this again? Maybe. If somebody wanted to see it, I might show
I'd
it to
like it
them.
enough that I'd buy it.
You would buy it?
Yeah, I think so.
mean,
Because Beverly D'Angelo is so wonderful in this. Plus, I love me
Just for
some
that.
Moon Unit Zappa, and I do like Brian James.
And Brian James. But other than that, they laid
Yeah,
they laid a big egg.
They
a
did.
big pterodactyl egg.
They laid a huge pterodactyl egg in the movie. And then there's another pterodactyl. So is that pterodactyl out there still? Is that
There's not too many pterodactyl movies.
Other
than Jurassic Park.
Pterodactyl, which we're going to do on the show, because I've got a copy of it.
Maybe.
So,
I guess that'll be up to you to do. But I would wait a little bit since we just did one pterodactyl movie.
I can't have too many pterodactyl movies
We
in the same season.
We want to.
People are like, that was the pterodactyl season.
The season of the pterodactyl. The pterodactyl CGI with them like in the air with the, there's only a couple scenes with it too, which is also another bummer thing. And that was probably what
She
you were
doesn't
saying.
fly, I would have wanted to see her fly,
Yeah,
as Beverly D'Angelo.
As Beverly, no,
she
but
just takes off.
she was in the air with the space.
I wanted to see her doing something with that form other than just wake up in a tree.
Wake up in a tree and she's not even naked.
Yeah.
Which
naked, yeah.
No,
would've
that's
been
always a
great.
plus.
Eating cats and dogs.
well, if you do like werewolf movies or whatever, the werewolf, the guy and whoever becomes the werewolf wakes up, naked because in real life, if you were to turn into a werewolf, your clothes would get torn.
In real life, like this happens.
I'm saying if in real life it would happen,
Your clothes don't change with you.
Yeah. Your clothes associates with you. So, like, if you turn into a pterodactyl, you'd wake up naked.
Although, there is an argument for that. Because if you're a werewolf, in theory, according to the old tales, you've been cursed, right? Mm-hmm. But what about, in this case, she wasn't cursed, she was given a spell. So the
She was cursed by a spell.
Well, the spell is a spell. So the spell could, in theory, work on the clothing as well.
I don't try to give it like help. I don't think Felipe Mora really gave that much thought.
No, I don't think so.
I think they just said we can't have Beverly D'Angelo naked.
It cost too much money to have her running around in the suit. Most likely, it probably didn't. She probably couldn't walk in it.
Probably.
Have you ever been in so much makeup that you couldn't walk around?
Yeah. We did something called the Galaxy West. It never got picked up, but it was experimental film with Bill Winkler, and they had me at 4 hours in makeup. Ooh. It was like this giant bug, with big bug eyes and stuff like that. And I could still walk, but it was just laborious being in it.
Sure.
So there was a few times where I've been in a lot of makeup, and it's not a really enjoyable process, but you endure it because it's your role.
Some actors really love that because it gives them the feeling like they physically are something else, and they can use that as part of their performance.
Yeah, the prosthetics and stuff.
Other actors hate it because it is a laborious process. It takes forever, and it takes forever to get rid of it.
Some people hate it. Some people love it.
That was hard when I did Clown Motel 2 and 3 because they had all this face paint, and then it took forever to get it off. And sometimes I'd go home with it to scare people, and I'd stop to take a pee somewhere, and I'd go in there and people were backing away from me.
You don't like clowns? Jeez.
And once they called the police on me in Las Vegas, I stopped in the casino, and the Prim's right outside of town. I walked in because I needed the restroom, and the casino guy called the police, and I'm in the restroom, trying to get some of the makeup off, and I feel somebody behind me, and I turn around as a cop. They're like, I just did a movie, sir, officer. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to. They thought I killed somebody because I had blood all over my face, and it's just like so. You have to be careful because you're limited. But I didn't want to wait. I wanted to get home, and by midnight.
Well, this has been a crazy time here, but we're actually almost right about that time to split it up. But is there anything else you guys wanted to make sure we mentioned, characters or
I definitely want to see this Beverly D'Angelo again in another movie. After today's performance, I was very impressed. And
You've never seen her in any other movies?
It wasn't that unforgettable. So
Well,
I didn't
I mean, you've
focus
never
on
seen
her.
the
I have to remember.
you haven't seen the vacation movies with Chevy Chase?
Yes, I have seen
That
her.
was-
She's
she's
always
the
good.
wife, yeah.
Wasn't she the wife of Chevy Chase? And, Okay, so I have seen her.
Yeah, you've seen her in a bunch
I
of
knew
stuff,
I
I'm sure.
recognized her, but she was never that unforgettable.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she was always like the comic foil.
Yeah,
You know, she
she's the-
played the straight man to his comedic talents.
Yeah,
So
she was
anyway.
wonderful in this though.
I don't know where they shot some of the scenes. There was some weird background stuff going on. There was an awful lot of leopard print. I don't know if you picked that up. I sure did. And there were some of the places that they shot were just strange.
Oh, the leopard print you kept pointing out.
Yeah.
Like you're like, why is there so much
Beverly
leopard print?
Hills seems like a very odd place. At least it was in the 90s.
I don't know if that was really shot in Beverly Hills. Like that would have to be like, you know.
And I think that's part of the movies that they were making fun of the Beverly Hills world. Just all the weird, wacky guru, new age, hippie shit that goes on in
and
there.
all the women that were like it was so funny because like they were all saying nasty things about how they wanted her out and how they blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden they said property value, and they said never mind, you know, we change our.
It's that whole sort of movie culture where you have all this money and you have nothing else to spend on it, so you blow it on new age horse shit because you don't really know any better, because you're not really educated. You're just there because you're pretty, and you get hired to be in movies, and you don't really put two thoughts behind it.
It shows how shallow they really are.
Yeah.
You know, just gossiping about things of no importance. You know, going on, you know, with their conversations that really mean nothing.
There was a movie, and of course I can't remember the name of it, but Martin Mull was in it, and it was like 1979, and they sort of made a whole movie based on making fun of that whole Hollywood
Oh,
culture.
the slums of Beverly Hills.
There wasn't that one. It was similar to that, but it was really good, and we'll have to do it. Probably do it on Film Freaks because it's a favorite of mine.
Well, they did
Was
Mary
it Down
Hartman.
and Dirty in Beverly Hills or something? I don't know.
No,
They did a series called Mary Hartman.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
another one, Ferndale Tonight.
Ferndale,
And
yeah.
that was a whole satire on all kinds of stuff like that.
Martin Mull was great. He was one of my favorite
Yeah, I
actors.
worked with him on a commercial.
Really?
One. Yeah, the Red Roof.
No, I'm so jealous.
Red Roof
'cause
commercial.
Nice.
I don't
Red
think
Roof
he's
Inn.
even alive anymore.
No, he isn't.
No, it's a
This
shame.
is-
And then did another pilot with him, but it never got picked up.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I got to work with him twice. And
I love
pretty
Martin
funny
Mull.
guy, very dry humor.
Yeah. Very cool guy.
Yeah.
I also like Richard Mole. You know, that's the Mole, but it's like Moll. That's the dude from Night Court, you know, and everything.
Yeah, I
Big,
met
tall
him
guy.
hiking once. I never worked with him, but we were hiking up around some lake in
Echo Park.
Echo Park.
Yeah.
And I noticed him. You know, he's really tall.
Yeah.
And,
oh, yeah. You
You know,
notice
and
him.
I just stopped and talked to him like a regular guy. And
She'd asked him if that was his mountain. Is this your molehill?
I wasn't that quick.
No.
It
I don't think I
would've-
would have even been that quick. I don't think you would have been that quick. I don't think you would have thought about that.
might have been.
Maybe, unless I was like, hey, that's Richard Mole. You'd be like, hey, Richard, is that your molehill? You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he'd like that, though. But,
Richard,
uh,
where's
Even
your
more
mall?
reason why I would say it.
oh, you're
You know, like a gangster's girlfriend. Where's your mall, Richard?
Yeah. She's over at the mall.
Yeah, oh well.
Getting her mold done.
oh, Lord. All
She got
right.
mauled yesterday.
Well, let's mull it down over to the,
Okay, all right.
you know, to the ending.
Well, time to give our stinkometer
Stinkometer
scores.
score.
So what is the stinkometer, sir?
He, you know, so we switch it up where I say it, and then if I do mine, and he says it if he does it. So,
Right.
Stinkometer, thank you for asking, sir. The Stinkometer score
Play
is
with
a
the children at home.
1 to 10 score. 1 being very, very good, and 10 being very, very stinky and bad. You can also go a 10 plus if the movie seems to be like worse than the worst.
An
that they-
exceptional stinkitude.
Yeah. And then you can also do a 0.5, like, you know, 5.5 or 6.5. You can't tell, you know, if it's in between.
It's got a subtle stinky hue to it.
Right.
Yeah. And then we tally all those scores up, and at the end of the year, we look at the ladder of stink to see how far down this is or whatever.
Or how high.
Or how high.
If it gets into stinky heaven, which I don't think this movie's going to.
No. But it won't even, I don't think it'll even be close.
Okay.
So, Paul, I don't want to let the guest go first. I'll let you go first.
Okay. So yeah, we talked about the problems, talked about some of the good stuff in here. I'd say this movie, I would probably give it a 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah, it's got some stink to it, but there's tons worse than this. And Beverly D'Angelo really did such a great job. She really saved this film. This could have been, in a lesser actor's hand, this could have been a very torturous experience. A very unfunny experience, and there's nothing worse than an unfunny comedy.
Yeah.
But she saved this film in a lot of ways, so I think at least a 1.5 in her favor for this film.
So 6.5?
6.5 seems fair.
All right, I would go 7.5 for me because I just think it's got some stink to it to enough that I'm just like, I'm not, I mean, like it's got some, it's dull at times, which is the epitome of like stink right there, and I think some of the characters could have been cut.
Yep, definitely.
And some of the there's just a couple things that I just because like I forgot to mention there was a scene where they were talking about like they were asking sex education questions to their mother, asking how do you make love to the mom. And for the mom, it's like, well, when a father and a mother or put their penis in the vagina and stuff, I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
I mean, it's a funny scene. I didn't mind it. The problem is it doesn't belong in that film.
Yeah, it felt weird.
It feels more like filler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it did feel weird. But it was just stupid, and I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. But so 7.5 for me. What about you, sir?
Pretty gracious. I would be a little more severe. I'm going to play it safe and 5.5 to 6. Maybe I'll give it a 6.
Give it a 6?
Only because of her performance and some of the other ones we talked about, a couple of other actors.
So you liked it a little bit better than, whatever.
Well, I fell asleep a little bit. And that's my meter, my inner meter. When I start falling asleep, that means it's like boring.
Yeah.
After a certain time period, I give up. It's like it's time to end it.
They had some stink, but we're not talking disgusting space worms eat everyone. I mean, we discovered another level of stink.
Oh, is that
one?
That's a
is
bad
that
one.
your?
No, ours would be like Miss Werewolf would be a bad like.
Yeah.
You have not.
I don't think G Larry Butler understands that level.
Yeah,
you've not been introduced to that.
Oh, believe me, I do. There's something called Little Stinkers.
Oh, that's right. You made him watch like.
You're so nice to.
You made him watch.
That was the point of the show, though. Yeah.
You made him watch.
That's the level I'm talking.
Fun in Balloon Land.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God. This is like home movies. Somebody submitted as
David the Rock
real
Nelsons
movie.
are worse.
Yeah.
Parade that never ended.
He would have made you and Bonnie watch David the Rock Nelson movies or anything. Even though they're not bad, like there's no bad
They're
stuff.
fun. They're just terrible.
No, I mean they're not fun.
I think
I don't think they're fun.
So anyway, yeah, I think it was interesting to watch it, but it ended far too late, and so I guess I'm jet lagged from California, so my attention span is kind of withered.
You need some of those blue martinis.
I do, yeah. And
The blue martinis they kept pushing the whole movie through. Like, let me get a blue martini. Did you have the blue martini? Like, stop. I don't. There's so many jokes they just kept trying to push. What was the other one? There was another joke where they just kept doing it, and it just got stupid. It was like the schizophrenia one. It's like, oh, I'm not schizophrenic, nor am I. And I'm like, that was funny the first time, maybe, but like after then, it's like, okay, we get it. Like you're done. Stop. Move on.
I mean, there's good things to be consistent with, but not when it comes to jokes. You don't do the same joke over and over and over.
No, because because people aren't going to laugh twice. Generally, that's my opinion. I don't laugh twice. If I laughed at it once, that's it.
Unless you do it, you give it space, you give it time, you do it later, and you do a twist, something different with it. You could maybe get away with it again.
Yeah.
But 4 or 5 times? No. No.
No more than 3. That's the rule of 3. And that's
I know,
too many.
even 2, I think he's pushing.
Yeah,
it.
2. It should
2
be
pushes
11.
it
3,
because
forget it.
yeah, it's just all of a sudden it's just like, dude, I'm done. I get it. But you know, Airplane would do those jokes. However, they would switch it up. So to be like, the joke would be like, I have a question for you. And it's like, what is it? It's like, well, and it would explain what a question is. Like, but it was like, but that's not the point right now. And they would do that on different ones, but each one would sort of be funny, or whatever.
Slightly different.
Yeah, and that is okay with me as long as the joke is funny throughout. But when it's like something like schizophrenia,
And I think the other reason why he gave it a worse score is because he loves it was all a dream.
I hate that.
Yeah, that was not necessary.
Yeah.
That is like my least
That's
favorite
a cheap
thing.
way out.
Yep.
That is my least favorite thing, because then it's just, it's a cheap way out, and it's a cheap way to say, okay, well, of course this didn't make any sense because, like you said that earlier, that of course, this makes it so, it was just a fantasy of all of this stuff. So that's why none of this actually makes any sense. And that's stupid.
Yeah, it insults the audience.
Look, I don't know why, but the Wizard of Oz, for some reason, always makes it work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that being a dream. I don't know why. I think it's because it's such a fairy tale world, and everything, that I'm just like, and then we saw all the people that she was basing it on, so I'm like, that would make sense that was a dream. We didn't get that because we only get the dream pretty much the whole time.
Of course, if I were her, I'd have punched the shit out of the damn good fairy who all the time had the answer. It's like, you couldn't have told me that the first 5 seconds I was there. Just click your heels. Motherfucker, I went through all this shit. You could just.
She made her go through all that shit.
I know.
She said, you have to go through all that shit.
I'd have punched her in the face.
And then she goes, oh, well, it's all on your feet anyway. I get that. And you're right.
Kneecaps broken. Right on the spot.
I know, you hate that movie.
I want to see Quentin Tarantino's version of Wizard of Oz. How freaking awesome would that be?
Someone should make like a Tarantino style Wizard of Oz. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
Like, and that would be Uma Thurman in the heels, like,
That
dancing
might be in
with
the
it.
works right now. You don't know.
Please, God.
Yeah. If you were going to do anything, you'd probably do that. That's more the most classic film.
Quentin, I know you listen to our show. Make it happen.
I wish he listened to our show. I don't even think he knows who the fuck we are,
most likely.
which is great, because then he's not going around telling everybody he hates us. However, that's good, because then he's actually giving people.
I was going to say, he'd give us more
views,
attention.
Like attention.
That's
People are
right.
like, who's these people? Who are these people?
I hate that Moody and Moo Cow guy.
There's no bad press.
Yes,
Just get your name spelled right. That's the name thing.
Yeah, I hate it when I see my friends like Sarah Atkins. They spelled her name wrong in a movie. And she watched the film. She's like, "Oh man, that's boring."
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, fucking just make sure you spell the person's name right.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't. The only problem we've ever had is we call John Johnson Johnny Johnson. That's what his name is on Facebook, and so he told me one day to call him John Johnson.
I get my last name spelled with 2 T's. I'm not Butler. Asshole.
That's almost like somebody making fun of you.
And then the other day it was Lary, like with
dear.
one R. So Larry with 1 R and Butler with 2 T's. I was like, oh my
LAR. Oh my.
So I never asked you, what is the G in front of Larry?
Well, it depends on the movie I'm doing. Sometimes it's glamorous, sometimes it's goofy. No, it's an old joke, but it's from George. When I first moved to Hollywood, they said, you can't own Larry Butler. I was a member of SAG. And I thought, what do you mean I can't own my own name? Because Willie Nelson's band leader is named Larry Butler. He owns it. Like, what?
That's
so I went to
crazy.
my agent and they said, wait a minute, we got to figure this out. And I said, well, okay, my first name is George. I'll put G, and then it'll be G, Larry Butler. And it's kind of an inside joke. Nobody says G anymore, but in the old days they did, in the 40s and 50s, that I grew up in the 50s. So if they're impressed by somebody, they go, G, and then some people get it. So, and the casting directors love it because they say, I just have to look for the G.
Yeah.
And whenever I meet somebody like Eric, Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts, he says, hey, G, that's fine. Just don't call me late for dinner. Fine.
There you go.
So
Larry's
people will say, G, Larry Butler, that sort of thing. So it's fine. It works whatever way. You get attention that way.
Could have said Lawrence, like Lawrence
It
Butler.
wasn't Law. My mother, was illiterate. She didn't know how to
Aw.
She didn't
give me
know
that
Lawrence.
Latin
She just called you Larry.
derivative. I grew up Larry, and I looked it up because everybody should know what their name means. You know what Larry means in Irish and the Gaelic? Street punk. Like, thanks, Mom.
Nice.
Street
Yeah, I'm street
You're a
punk
punk.
Butler. It's like, oh my God. So anyway,
Oh, there you
it'll
go.
work. Whatever,
That's
it
fine.
doesn't matter. But so it's permanently G Larry Butler. And I
Good.
thought, and I Googled my name the other day, and my God, all this stuff comes up. G Larry Butler on Google.
How many porns are you in?
How many what?
Porns are you in Google?
Porn?
Yeah, how many
Oh,
porns
no.
pop up in your Google?
I'll tell you a secret. I did one porn film in my life.
What?
Get out of here. Really?
But I wasn't the Italian stallion.
Okay.
I was the sheriff in it. I was a straight guy because I wouldn't do it.
Was it a Western porn?
Yeah, Western porn. So anyway, I said, look, I'm not going by my real name.
And the horse you rode
I don't
in.
want it on my IMDb. So I'm going to be called Larry Blue Balls. And because, Blue Balls, what that means.
That's funny.
The only guy not getting any
Like
action.
Al Purplewood.
So look it up. There's
Larry
only
Blue
one
Balls.
reference for Larry Blue Balls. In
Nice.
IMDb.
Everybody, you heard it here. Wow.
We're going to
holy
dig
cow.
this movie up, my friend.
can't
We're
even
going
You
to
can
dig
put it
out
on
the name of it
Sexploitation Sleazecast.
at this point. But and then Ron Jeremy was in it. And he was
wow.
trying to get me to do a certain thing, and I said, look, there's only one director, and you ain't it. So I told him off on set. He hated me for that.
Nice.
And the director was kind of half drunk. It was a female director, and I'm not going to mention her name, but anyway, she wasn't doing a great job. But he was trying to direct me, and I thought, look, buddy, she's the director, not you. So
Yeah, so yeah. Well,
Anyway.
are we gonna expect like nudity in this thing, like for you? Do you
A
have
what?
Do you have nudity in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was,
No, of course
I was
not.
gonna say
No,
we're
I
gonna
played the
see.
sheriff with my clothes on.
I was
And
gonna
the
say,
gun was loaded with blanks. But, these things are dangerous.
But you weren't the naked sheriff.
And I wasn't about to kill anybody. And they were like getting me, they were mishandling it and gave it to me, right? And I was pointed up, and it went off and scared all of us. Thank God I wasn't pointed at somebody. So
I am fascinated. I'm going to have to find this
It was
film.
a drug-fueled set.
and look, it brings a new meaning to "I shot the sheriff."
Yeah.
See, we need to talk about this because I think it would be fun to do a movie or at least a short film sort of based on a porn set that goes wrong. It goes terribly, terribly
There you
wrong.
go.
That would be fun.
All right, everybody. On that note, after talking about Pterodactyl Woman from Beverly Hills for so long, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Larry. Larry will be back in another episode.
G.
of Indie.
Larry.
G. Larry. We'll be back.
My pleasure.
For
My pleasure.
another Indie Film Cafe later that Paul will do. So that'll be interesting to find out what he's got planned for Larry. And then... so thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
Look out, we're
Absolutely.
going to be doing some short films, and Larry will be a part of them. So
Thanks,
Really
Sheriff.
looking
We
forward to
appreciate it.
I'll never live that down.
now you told us. Now
Why did I let the cat out of the
the
bag?
porn cat is out of the bag.
You can't keep a secret forever.
Oh,
anyway,
no,
right?
that's-
You
that's-
tell all your friends.
That's
Wonderful
amazing.
Now everybody knows.
Yes, tell your friends. Everybody, just don't tell his daughter. I don't think she'd want to know. You never make sure she don't listen to this. All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will talk to you later. Bye everybody.
Au revoir.
And they got a bunch of good ones, too. It's just, we like to talk about the stinky ones.
Of course. All right. So we're just testing this out. Test. Do you want to say something, Larry, so we can test it out and see how it sounds?
Good morning, Vietnam.
Might be a little too loud.
Oh, too late.
That's a...
Good morning, Vietnam. To all the folks at home and all the ships at sea.
All All right.